INTZ. In the zone, city to city, state to state, worldwide. This is the In the Zone Network.
Hey, welcome back to Girl Chat Sports. This is episode 47. What's up? I'm Melissa, and with me, of course,
Stephanie.
We are back, and we are super excited to have our guest today, Nicole Powell. She is the founder of TheSportStyle.com. It's a great blog. She also has a lot of NBA, WNBA, and sports fanatic. She's a sports girl, and we love sports girls. So we'll be talking to her later. So don't make sure to stay tuned for that. But in other news, we had an awesome weekend.
The most amazing weekend.
So for all of you who didn't see our live posts from the draft, we were at the Big Three draft, which, if you don't know, is a 3-on-3 half-court tournament or league that Ice Cube has started with Allen Iverson. And basically, it's 8 teams that will go head-to-head, 4 games that'll be played every Sunday, but aired every Monday on Fox Sports. And this starts the end of June, and the championship game actually gets played here in Las Vegas end of August. So we're really excited about it. So we're red carpet, we're media, of course, and shout out to the Big Three for having us there. We really appreciate it. We can't wait to have you guys back in Las Vegas. We got to meet some awesome people.
Man, we got to meet some serious basketball legends.
And not only basketball legends, we got to meet Ice Cube. Yes, NWA. Yes, Ice Cube. So that was amazing. I had a great interview with him. I actually have some great interviews that I'm going to either splash into our podcast here, or I might just post them all by themselves. Because honestly, I mean, we talked to Rashard Lewis, Kenyon Martin, aka Kmart, Dr. J. Hello, y'all, Dr. J. I talked to Dr. J. Mike Bibby, Gary Payton, GP, Rashard Lewis, some of my Seattle hometown people. So it was really exciting to talk to them. I actually wore my Sonic shirt that says undefeated since 2008. So shout out to Fresh Brewed Tees for that shirt because it was a hit. The guys loved it. Yeah, it was a great time. Steph, you had lots of great pictures. I mean, we got to experience the red carpet. We got to experience the guys, the players, the interviews. We watched the entire draft. Everybody, there was about a draft pool of probably 40 people that showed up. And of those people, one of them was my high school crush, Kendall Gill, who I also got to interview. When I tell y'all that I literally I used to write Spanish, my Spanish projects, like my essays were about Kendall Gill. Yeah, it was that sad. So, but he didn't get drafted, unfortunately, although he did talk about his boxing that he's been doing, boxing training. So we will talk a little bit more about that with our girl, Nick, later from TheSportStyle. And we'll also talk a little bit more NBA news. But let's get into a little bit of NFL, because also what happened while we've been gone on our 2-week hiatus is we had the NFL draft. Whoop, whoop, football season's coming. I am ready, y'all. I'm super ready for football season. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
Steph, you watched a little bit?
I watched a couple of the first and second rounds, and then I didn't.
I literally was diehard. I don't think I did anything all weekend. I didn't go out. I didn't go even run my dog. Shug was mad at me because I was glued to the TV watching pick number 264. That's what I was doing. So I don't know. Do you want to talk about your Cowboys a little bit?
Yes.
Yeah.
So in the first round, the number 28 pick, we picked up Taco Charlton. He's a defensive end from Michigan.
He is a good guy. And let me tell you, this guy, his name's Taco. It's his nickname, but that's what everybody calls him. Funny story, he didn't even like tacos as a kid. But his nickname was Taco. How is that? How is your nickname something that you don't even like until you get older? But anyways, if that's the case, my mom would have nicknamed me Veggie because I hate veggies. Anyway.
He had 9.5 sacks last year at Michigan in his lone season as a full-time starter. So we think that he will start day one as the defensive end and at the very least or be part of our rotations.
Well, and the Cowboys for sure needed to concentrate on the defense this draft, because your offense, I mean, obviously we all know about Dak and Zeke, but the offense is still running good. It seems to be the struggle with the defense. A few of the guys you weren't able to re-sign this year, so that was a big target for you guys.
We lost 4 defensive backs to free agency in the offseason. Quick note, for the first time since 1983, the Cowboys used our first, second, and third round picks to get defensive players. Wow. We needed them.
Clearly, yeah.
We needed them.
Dang it.
Round 2, number 60, we got Chidobe Awuzie is how they say it.
Awuzie.
Cornerback from Colorado.
Good kid.
He only had 3 interceptions in college. He was a really great player for them. He also has safety experience as well, so we might play him outside corner, slot corner, safety. It's good that he has that flexibility.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then round 3, another important one, Jordan Lewis. Cornerback from Michigan. Sadly, he does have some scandal surrounding
There was
him.
a lot of scandal this draft, but it all seemed to still get played out okay. People still got picked up, but yeah.
Leave it to the Cowboys to get invested in some more scandal. But he's got a misdemeanor domestic violence charge from an incident in March, which he claims he's completely innocent and believes the charges will be dropped. I guess the Cowboys did their research and they felt comfortable enough in picking him. If everything goes well, we will have a 2-time Big Ten Defensive Back of the Year. So, hoping that things clear up with that.
Oh,
He's
funny.
physical.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, Scrappy, he calls himself. And then just to touch on some of the other picks that we had, round 4, number 133, Ryan Switzer, a wide receiver for North Carolina. Round 6, we picked up Xavier Woods, a safety from Louisiana Tech. And also round 6, we picked up Marquez White, a cornerback from Florida State.
Awesome.
And then we had 3 round 7 picks. I've got Joey Ivy, let's see, from Florida, and Noah Brown, wide receiver from Ohio State. And last but not least, we've got Jordan Carroll, also from Colorado.
Awesome. So here's something about the draft too was awesome. I don't want to keep on saying awesome, but it was. It was just damn awesome. Philadelphia came out for the draft. When I tell you, it felt like it was like a parade for the Super Bowl champions, which the Philly hasn't yet experienced yet. But that's not the point. The point is that the fans came out. They had it was a ridiculous amount of fan base there. It was packed. The streets were filled. It was an experience for sure.
And then Drew Pearson comes out and trolls them.
The Cowboy great Drew Pearson came out for the 60th pick.
The most passionate announcement in the second round. He never had this experience of being drafted. He was an undrafted free agent in 1973. But it was fitting for him to seize the spotlight. I think that a takeaway from this is that voters should hopefully be inspired to consider his case for the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Off of a speech, come on.
Not just because of the stirring induction speech,
Right.
but because of his skills.
Well, he did definitely stir the pot, and from what he says is that he said that Roger Goodell had kind of nudged him a little bit, to get the crowd going. So whether there be true to that or not, I guess we'll never know. But that definitely was a highlight or a laugh that was good to watch during the draft. So in regards to the Seahawks,
Who'd you guys pick up?
well, in typical Seahawk Pete Carroll fashion, we gave away our top pick and we traded down to get, I think we went from 26 originally to 31. And then we traded down again.
I know, I
to
was
35.
wondering when you guys were going to pick somebody.
We never pick. We just don't. So we went from having, I think, maybe 6 picks originally for the draft to having, I think, 10 or 11. So our first pick was in round 2. It was pick 35. It was for our defensive tackle, Malik McDowell. Awesome defender from Michigan State. I cannot wait to have him on the defense for the Seahawks. What's crazy is that we all know the Seahawks offensive line needs a lot of work. And it was kind of hard for the fan base of the Seahawks to sit there and watch these guys, pick a defender off the top when we really need this line. We got to protect Russell Wilson. He got injured this year. It really clearly affected our team. Other injuries plagued our team, but we definitely needed some help. So also in the second round, pick 58, we picked up offensive lineman Ethan Posick from LSU. My girl Cynthia is a huge LSU fan, and she's actually going to be coming out with us to the game to watch a Seahawks game because he's a great guy. He's a center. He'll probably be playing a little bit. We already have a center, so we'll see how the offensive line works out. They picked up a few guys that will kind of be playing multiple roles and kind of feel them out throughout training camp to see where they'll go. But hopefully, in Pete we trust. That's what we've been saying every year. So in Pete We Trust and Pete We Trust, obviously you know that we got Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor, Russell Wilson was, I think, a 3rd-round pick. All of our main guys that are like, Pro Bowlers were all in late-round picks. So it doesn't hurt us that we've got all of our picks in the late rounds. I mean, we're talking... We got Shaquille Griffin from Central Florida in the 3rd round, Delano Hill from Michigan in the 3rd round, Nazir Jones, North Carolina, 3rd round. We have a ton of 3rd-round picks. We got some wide receivers. We got some safeties. Another offensive tackle was Justin Senior from Mississippi State, another huge guy. So there's some great guys. And even what's not hilarious, but which is hopeful for a lot of guys out there, one of our picks is a wide receiver from East Central University, round 7. He got picked up, Mr. David Moore. So we're really excited about that. But in other notable news for the draft, just beyond our 2 teams, so I'm sure you're not listening to the podcast thinking, oh, we only want to hear about the Seahawks and the Cowboys. You're probably not, but that's what you're going to get forced to. We shove it down your throat first, so you're going to like them. But Myles Garrett was the number 1 pick from Texas A&M. There was some speculation as to what was going to happen, who the Browns are going to pick. So this was their very first defender to go first. Myles. He was the very first defender to go first since Jadeveon Clowney got picked back in 2014 by the Texans, who's been doing excellent ever since. So Myles Garrett, congratulations to him. What was a funny story about him is that they had put him up there on the screen while he was getting ready to accept, and it was like he had almost went to Ohio State because he's a paleontology. Their paleontology program was awesome, was basically best in the country. He loves dinosaurs. Talk cool. About one big kid. Yeah. He loves dinosaurs. He also, it was the 5th time in the last 11 drafts that an SEC player was drafted number 1. Yeah. SEC. I can't believe it. So, congrats to him. Leonard Fournette got picked up by the Jaguars from LSU. He was number 4. The crazy thing that happened was, so Chicago Bears traded up to get the 2nd pick, only to pick Mitchell Trubisky, quarterback. And what was fun is that they traded with the Niners. I don't think the Niners were ever going to pick up Mitchell, so why they traded to get from 2 to 3 is still anyone's guess. We don't know what happened. We don't know why. But it's pretty crazy. I don't know.
Oh, another notable pick, Marlon Humphrey, Alabama cornerback. Uh-huh. His dad, he was the 16th pick, and his dad, Bobby Humphrey, was a record-setting running back for the Crimson Tide and also was a Pro Bowler for the Broncos. He was a 1st-round draft pick for the Broncos.
Oh, wow. And then another shout-out to Roger Goodell for not fining Takarist McKinley, who was picked up number 26 by the Falcons. He had this great speech. It was a great awe moment for me because he actually had like a 11 by 14 framed picture of his grandmother, who was the person that raised him, who he said on her deathbed he was going to make it to D1 football and then, of course, get to the league. Well, he made it. He brought her picture up, and he was very emotional. He was very excited. He dropped a couple of F-bombs, which I think I might even do if I was in that position too. And so thankful to Mr. Goodell, once in his life, he does not find the poor child. So we really appreciate that. Notables about my University of Washington Huskies, because we lost a lot of guys this year. Congratulations to John Ross. He's got picked up by the Bengals. So the Bengals are going to have some weapons this year. They also picked up a little bit of a questionable pick with Joe Mixon, who had some misdemeanor assault charges. The Bengals got some weapons, though. Our cornerback, Kevin King from the Huskies, got picked up the 1st pick in the 2nd round to the Packers. Buda Baker, my mom's favorite. He's got picked up by the Cardinals, number 36. And then, of course, the cornerback, Sidney Jones, who had suffered his torn Achilles back on Pro Day, got picked up by the Eagles. What hurts me most right now is that these guys that I loved watching with the Huskies, I now am forced to have to see the Seahawks play against through most of the season because they're all NFC teams.
Can we talk about the Raiders? First of all, their pick, Garyon Connolly, has rape allegations pending against him.
Oh, yes.
But there's been some news in the Las Vegas Raiders. Okay. They have purchased a 60-acre plot of land for $77.5 million. That's more than $22 million less than what the plot of land was supposed to be worth. So they cut them a little bit of a deal.
Nice.
It's going to be west of the Mandalay Bay Hotel. And believe it or not, the Raiders have already taken more than 40,000 refundable $100 deposits for personal.
They've got one of mine. They've
You're
got
one of
my
the
$100.
40,000.
I am waiting, because I don't care. I'm gonna be in there with a Seahawk jersey. Bam! It's gonna be
Yeah.
Bruce Irvin or it's gonna be Marshawn Lynch's Seahawk jersey, but I'm gonna have it in there. I'm gonna wear it. So there.
So they're bound to Vegas for at least the next 30 years, planning to open in 2020.
Correct.
There's a lot of red tape that they have to go through to make this happen. They've got 10 agreements, including a lease and a separate sublease involving UNLV. Which is pending. And there's a study of the project by officials in Clark County where the stadium is located. They have questions over limited parking where the stadium site's going to be. So it's great. It's going to be next to the I-15. I think that'll be good, but where is everyone going to park?
It's going to be, I think there's a whole lot over there east of the Strip from Mandalay Bay. So I feel like there's going to be some kind of monorail system that kind of ships them over the 15 to get to the stadium, because there's wide open areas over there where they can have big parking structures. So we shall see what happens. Adrian Peterson also got picked up by the Saints for a 2-year deal. Kind of weird how Marshawn Lynch, Adrian Peterson, Jamal Charles, all these guys are going to be signing with new teams. Jamal Charles is going to the Broncos, and Peterson's, of course, going to the Saints. So it's going to be interesting to see how these running backs back from I won't even say the good old days, but they're all a little, aged, and they're playing in their later years to see how they do. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, well, the Vikings aren't going to exercise the 5th-year option on Teddy Bridgewater. He is still continuing his rehab from surgery over his dislocated knee and torn ACL.
The whole season, too, was just...
he had such a great beginning, too. I thought he was going to be promising.
I know. Well, that's too bad. But, so we are excited for Raiders football to come here. We are excited for the NFL. We are super excited to go to commercial break and be right back with our guest, Nicole Powell.
Yo, what's good with it? It's Mr. Mike T, owner and founder of Naked Athletics Fitness Co. You say naked, I say why not? We going for muscle tone, muscle gains, diet plans, nutrition plans, any and everything to get you where you want to go physically and mentally. You can look us up at nakedathleticfitness.com, or you can reach me personally at 929-8791, or you can follow me, and that's on IG at Naked Athletics with an X, not a C, _ fitness team, or even Facebook at MZSTAMYK, and that's Mr. Mike. So contact me today so we can get you going. And remember, nobody stops you but you. And once again, that's 702-929-8791 or nakedathleticfitness.com. Contact me today. Let's get you going. Nobody stops you but you.
Hey, and welcome back to Girl Chat Sports. We are joined with Nicole Powell, who is the founder of TheSportStyle.com. It's a platform that's used to entertain, engage fans to sports as well as fitness outside of the game. So, Nicole, welcome. We are so glad to have you.
Thanks, ladies. I appreciate you having me.
Right on. So we know it's a little bit late for you. You're over on the East Coast. So let our listeners know a little bit about you, kind of how you got started in sports, maybe why you're such a sports fanatic or fan, who your favorite teams are, that kind of stuff.
Oh, no problem. So, yeah, definitely I'm a Jersey girl at heart, but now I'm living in Brooklyn, and I've always loved sports. I remember the first time watching my first NBA Finals with my aunt. It was Jordan versus Magic, and I've just been hooked ever since. Kind of got my feet wet in the industry with working at Madison Square Garden for the Knicks, Liberty, and Rangers, and it's just something about the game that I love. It's, the competitiveness, the fans, how people are just so into it. So that's what drives me every day. It's my passion, and I just can't see myself doing anything else.
So, well, first of all, working at Madison Square Garden has to be like a dream job. I mean, maybe I'm sure it's had its rough days, but when you talk about sports and some of the most iconic places to play sports, Madison Square Garden is like top 10.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was crazy because I worked in game night presentations, so pretty much I did everything, executing all of the on-court and on the concourse promotions and contests. So, during timeouts, I'd be on the court looking over. There'd be Spike Lee there. There'd be Chris Rock. It's just crazy. And,
oh my gosh.
You're doing all this in front of 19,000 fans. So
Wow.
it's a huge opportunity.
How fun.
That is so awesome. So as far as like your allegiance, are you as far as more of the Jersey fan right now, or are you more of like a Brooklyn fan, or as far like what are your favorite teams currently?
Oh, well, definitely never, Mets fan, no.
Okay.
I'm Knicks all the way. But I mean, I'm truly an NBA fan. So I want to see a good game no matter who's playing. I'll watch just about any NBA game that's on. And I just love hoops. So definitely my teams are Knicks, Giants. Don't really have a baseball team. I kind of go back and forth with Yankees, Mets. And as far as like hockey, I don't know. I'm for Devils and Rangers too. So those are my squads right there. And of course, Liberty. Hello.
Hello.
Gotta
Gotcha.
shout out my ladies.
Gotcha. Well, it was amazing. I love when you talked about the Jordan versus Magic, because those are some of the days that I remember too. It kind of segues us a little bit. We talked a little bit earlier, but we got to go and enjoy the draft for the Big Three, which I know their very first game opener is going to be out there in Brooklyn. So these are guys that just like you grew up with. We all grew up with watching Allen Iverson, Kenyon Martin, Kmart. Jermaine O'Neal. Some of these guys, Rashard Lewis, all these names are coming together to kind of have like the summer type league for us to enjoy basketball after basketball season.
Yeah, it's so cool because a lot of them, I remember I just was there last September. I was there for AI's induction in the Hall of Fame. So, I went there not even as a member of the media. I went there as a fan.
Right.
So for AI, Shaq, because these are the icons, especially if you grew up watching 90s ball. So,
oh my gosh. Yes.
It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be crazy just to see if they still got the handles. You want to see if AI is gonna be breaking some ankles.
Right.
You see if GP is still the glove.
Yes.
So I'm super excited.
They said the combines and whatnot were pretty soft, so they better get their game back by the time the games start. June, right?
Yeah, end of June.
Seriously, they got about a month and a half to get their summer bodies together.
Right.
And some of them do not have summer bodies anymore.
But actually, I will say this. A lot of them did seem like they're ready to compete. Obviously, they're not playing anymore. So this was like, besides going to the rec center or playing pickup with your fellas like here and there, this is like an actual competitive league where they'll get to play against some of the guys they were playing with before. And one thing that I really loved about it is that they're allowing hand checking, which is going to be kind of crazy because yeah, I know. And that's what it's amazing because that's what's stopping some of these people from, or I guess allowing some of these people to have these 50, 60-point games is head checking. But now we get to have it back. There's going to be real defense again. Granted, it's only on a half court, so it's 3-on-3 half court, but it's going to be amazing. And the championship is going to be here in Las Vegas, so you should definitely come out and hang out.
I would love to. Let me tell you, I want to see Gary if GP. If he's coaching, right?
I think he's going to be a player coach. I don't know. He may. Yeah. So some of them are going to be player coaches. Like, I don't think Dr. J is going to play, but I know, I think Gary Payton's going to play. I believe Charles Oakley's going to play. I think Allen Iverson's going to play. But I think Dr. J, I don't know if Clyde Drexler was, and I'm pretty sure Rick Barry isn't. But so some are player coaches, some are just coaches. Yeah.
Right. Well, when GP gets into that squat, he's kind of squatting down and he's digging deep and he's talking that trash, man.
Man, that mouth, you can't stop it.
I'm all in. So I'm definitely looking forward to that, along with the WNBA season. So let me tell you, Hoops fans, they are definitely in for a treat this summer, and I can't wait to cover what's going on and off the court for the TheSportStyle.
Well, tell us about the WNBA, because I know for me growing up, I played basketball only through high school though, because for me when I grew up, there really wasn't the WNBA. It wasn't like we had the dream of being able to excel and go to college and play after that and go to a professional league. So I'm not to say I was good enough to play D1 basketball but even to play and get go out. But for these kids now that are coming up, they've had the league's been in, I think it's 20 years now, the league's been around. And
Yeah, we're going into season 21.
it's awesome. So what for you, I guess, really makes you enjoy the WNBA, and what are you looking forward to this coming season?
Oh man, I think honestly, I enjoy going to the games because the fans are first class fans. They're top notch. They're knowledgeable. They're loyal. They're diehard, and they're really into the game. So if you really, really, truly love fundamental basketball, then you definitely need to be a fan if you're not already of the WNBA. I'm looking forward to seeing these Lady Gamecocks who just won the national championship. You got Kayla Davis, who is, progeny of NBA royalty, Antonio Davis's daughter. And you got, big gal Lena Coates. I'm looking forward to also seeing if Skylar Diggins, she definitely, this is her 5th season, so she definitely is at that level where she's trying to take her team to the next level. And for my Liberty, I think this might be the year we actually win the championship. So I'm excited for all of the matchups.
Well, that's good, and congratulations to Sky too. She just got married. She looks like she has a beautiful gown. Oh my God, she looks so amazing. But we are excited. I know you didn't mention my Seattle Storm, but we also handle business too.
Well, you got the New York gal.
We repping both coasts. It's okay. We got both coasts covered. It's all good.
And we're looking forward to seeing what Kelsey Plum does too. I'm sure she's gonna ball out right away.
Did you see the clip of her throwing that T-shirt into the stands?
Let me tell you. Well, I mean, her dad played high school football, and her mom was a volleyball player, so she's like a super athlete. So
right.
I'm super excited for, what she can do for the league and how she could potentially be a new face for the league. So I'm excited.
And she's such a beautiful woman. I mean, not to say that any of these women aren't beautiful, but, it's always nice when you've got, a woman that has great talent as well as the features, just like the guys. I mean, you always get a guy that has, great talent and that is good looking, and they seem to excel and be able to kind of promote the brand more and promote the league. And I'm really just happy for her. She already signed with Nike, which is an amazing feat for any woman athlete right now. So we're really proud of her. I'm proud of her. She's a Husky, so I got to roll with my dogs. Isaiah Thomas too, so I will give him that as well. But yeah, we're really excited. But let's turn a little bit then to the NBA, which I know is another passion. So who do you have winning it this year as far as team? Who's taking the chip home, and why? And then what about MVP?
Oh gosh, oh man. I don't want to take the cop-out answer, but I will say that every team is one serious injury away from blowing it all. So you just don't know. And as far as MVP, I mean, I don't know. I feel like, I had Russ for the longest or whatever. And even though Harden is still in it and his team was higher seeded, but, I mean, come on. No one has averaged a triple-double, in over, 40 years or so? So,
right.
I mean, that's unmatched. But then what Isaiah Thomas is doing right now, he's playing at an anointed level because, the sister, he's like game to like another level that I don't think people even knew he had. So
definitely. Like I was talking to a friend of mine earlier, and he mentioned like no one remembers that he played for the Kings. Like no one knows.
Oh yeah,
Isaiah was playing for the Kings. I'm like, oh my God, you're right. I totally forgot. No one realized it because no one was paying attention at the time. Now it's like, holy cow, this kid IT. Everybody's on the IT bandwagon, but they don't. I mean, he's really brought his game up. He's excelled, and he's really making it happen for the Celtics team. So I'm really, really, really happy.
Pure emotion.
Yeah. Well, I mean. He was buried on the bench, so he was buried on 2 benches. So was with the Kings, and then he went to the Suns, and they pretty much gave him up for 2 Jolly Ranchers. So, as I said earlier this season, the Celtics are going to have to back up the Brinks truck to sign IT again. So
yeah,
I definitely think he deserves everything he gets. But okay. To answer your question, I'm going. Okay, it's going to be Warriors. Cavs again, and I say, you can never go against LeBron, no, but I'm gonna go Dubs in 7.
Yeah, I think so
Dubs
too. Actually,
Westbrook MVP.
With Westbrook the MVP.
Yes.
Okay. So here's a
Those are my
question.
picks.
Here's a question too then. How do you feel about this whole discussion that basically it wasn't KD that the team was it wasn't necessarily that the Warriors needed KD. It was that the Warriors didn't want to play against him anymore because that was keeping them from making an issue. Do you think
You
that's part of
know?
the case?
I saw that shady meme on Instagram, and I was like, you know what? That's an interesting theory right there. So I don't know, but I mean, they obviously that was like they paid a lot of money for that strategy. So obviously, and then they also played. They gave up Harrison Barnes and Andrew Bogut. So now I mean, when you have an opportunity to grab an MVP caliber or a former MVP like Kevin Durant, you take it. So I don't know if it was necessarily that they were trying to break up Oklahoma City. It's just they had an opportunity to go for the big fish and they got him.
Right. Oh gosh. So real quick before we finish it up with you, because I mean we could probably talk forever. I love that you love the NBA. I love that you're an old school NBA head as well, because there's not a lot of people these days that remember how basketball used to be. But how do you feel about the whole LeVar Ball situation?
Oh boy. Earlier on, I was definitely a LeVar Ball shipper because I thought he was funny. I thought he was fun.
Right.
I thought he was cool and lightening up the mood just a little bit. But right now, I feel like LeVar Ball kind of like jumped the shark a little bit. It's just like, sir, how about you get a contract first before you start talking about your sons are better than this guy and. They need to pay for your brand. I really feel like Lonzo's going to definitely have to, he's going to have to be like the Messiah to come back from all the trash that his dad talked about. So I think his dad's really dug him in a deep hole. And it's unfortunate because the kid doesn't seem like he's asking for it, but his dad is kind of talking a lot.
And he's a great athlete too. Like all those kids are great athletes, but I just feel like at first myself, I felt like, okay, he's really helping, he's a supportive father. He's there for his kids. I love it. Like, yeah, he's a little excessive sometimes or pushy, but he's I called him the Kris Kardashian of men's basketball. Like he knew how to plug things. He knew how to get his 15 minutes of fame, how to get on interviews, how to get on TV, how to be talked about. But now it's like you're talking about the wrong things. And now you're distracting from your child who's about to get drafted. Let him get drafted. Let him make his own, footprint in there. And what came about recently, I think it was just today, is that Stephon Marbury came up to his defense and said that basically, the big baller brand could excel, but that it would have to have proper infrastructure. And all I'm thinking is that I love Stephon Marbury, but Stephon Marbury, who's still doing great things out there as far as in basketball overseas, as well as his own brand, he actually had a starting point. He had a great career in the NBA. You have to have a starting point like that first before any of the infrastructure, before your products, before $200 tier shoes. I mean, come on. It's just ridiculous.
Right. And it's a bad look, too, when the high school coach is getting fired and he's relieved that he was fired because of the back and forth situation with LeVar Ball. So, I mean, I feel like, be humble, sit down, take a little note from Kendrick Lamar, take a little from Uncle Kenny, and just get your foot in the door. We all know a situation. We gonna finesse it once we get in there, but you got to get in there. And right now, he's pretty much blowing himself up. So. Right.
Well, Nick, we really appreciate you being here. I literally laughed my butt off when I was reading your bio on TheSportStyle.com because you basically said that you had dubbed yourself the greatest couch color commentator no one has ever heard of, which I love because there are some color commentators on, I won't name names, Bill Walton, but that suck at their job. And I think that you would be great there. I think you would be great as a color commentator. I think it would be amazing. If only we could have a female on the color commentating side of things in the league, that'd be awesome.
Right. TNT, call me.
Right. Please, let me go hang out in Area 21 real quick for a while, because I think me and KG could talk up a storm. Me and you, girl, that's where we're headed. We're headed to Atlanta to go talk to KG. Anyways, please let our listeners know where they can find you, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, thanks so much. So, yeah, check me out, TheSportStyle. That's TheSportStyle, Twitter and Instagram. and my blog, TheSportStyle.com. Hope to see you guys soon or check me out there.
Definitely. Thank you so much for coming. We're definitely going to have you on again, maybe towards the end of season, or maybe we'll see you in Vegas for the Big 3 final.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right. Yes.
Thanks, girl.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and before we go, we'll touch base real quick on some hockey. So the hockey playoffs are still going on for all of those that are watching. They're in the second round, and I promise you guys we will be better hockey fans by this coming fall because we've got the Golden Knights coming, and I think if we can watch hockey live, we may just do better.
True.
So yeah,
we'll
second round of the NHL playoffs. We also are currently in the middle of the NBA playoffs. We talked a little bit earlier with Nick, but we've got the Celtics, Cavs, Wizards, Toronto Raptors, Golden State Warriors, Jazz, Spurs, Rockets. So we'll see how those all play out. It is second round as well, so we are looking to that. In some ooh and ah news, for me personally, I just really wanted to shout out to Isaiah Thomas as a Husky, as just a human being. He lost his sister. We talked about it briefly at the last episode, last podcast. He played like an animal last night.
It was
this
crazy.
Man scored 53 points. 29 points were just in the fourth quarter and overtime. He literally brought the Celtics back from about to lose a game to going into the overtime and winning, like a one-man show. And so congrats to Isaiah Thomas. He had they just had his sister's funeral earlier this week. And it was his sister's 23rd birthday yesterday too. So
Right.
We really shout out to him and the Thomas family. Our prayers and thoughts are with you guys. Our prayers and thoughts are also with Brandon Roy, who also was a Husky. I don't know what's going on these days. But he actually was shot in an incident in L.A. He was just a bystander outside of his grandmother's house in L.A. He was shot in the leg. It seems to be some gang-related activity out there. And so he's back in Washington recovering. He should be just fine. But another just freak accident. And, we just wish him the best as well. So last little moment, though, that we found. This guy, tell us about the ballpark, please. I can't even put it into words.
So these two Mets fans, over a period of years, one of them passed away. He was a plumber. So what his friend did to honor him is went to his family to ask if he could have some of his friend's ashes. What he has been doing is flushing his friend's ashes down the toilet at baseball stadiums across the nation.
It's crazy.
There's some rules to his game. The game has to be in progress when he sprinkles the ashes in the toilets.
Okay.
It comes from a little plastic bottle.
Okay.
He has done it in quite a few stadiums already, but he's gone to Wrigley Field, but avoided the Cubs toilets
because they're so rivalries. Of the Mets,
right. So he passed away in 2008. And his friend here has been honoring his memory by flushing him down the toilet.
I think he had like one more dose or one more flush left of the ashes. So, hey, to every which way possible that you can do it, that you can honor your fellows, family members or friends that have passed. I know my father, when he passed, we've been sprinkling ashes at random waters and beaches and lakes. That's what he loved. So, all to those who do it, we applaud you. Anyways, that's us for today. Again, shout out to Big 3. We really appreciate you guys having us there for media, and we can't wait to have you guys back in Las Vegas. Hopefully, I can even get out to Seattle to watch the playoffs, but I know you guys will be back here for the championships. Again, thanks, and shout out to Nicole Powell with TheSportStyle.com. We enjoyed having you, girl. I love the NBA knowledge. I love the WNBA knowledge. I love your history with the New York's teams there. So, Steph, let them know where they can find you.
On all social media under S_wash.
And you can find me, Melissa, at Seattle, 4_life, LIFE, Seattle 4_life. And you can find us at GirlChatSports on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and everywhere else. Snapchat. Hey, if you got it, we got it. So anyways, thanks so much. We'll see you guys, or we'll talk to you guys in 2 more weeks.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for checking out another great episode of Girl Chat Sports. And remember, we don't have balls, but we know how to cover them. Until next time, guys.